Leah, have you been crying, you might say? Well, yeah, I have, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about me, friend. I met with my therapist today, and it's like a telehealth thing. So by saying I met with him, I just mean I sat on my bed and talked to him on the screen. This therapy that I'm doing is really quite different than the therapy that I have done in the past. And uh, it's not just like belaboring all of my trauma, right? Where you just go in and you're like, oh, this bad thing happened and this bad thing happened. And then you go in every week for like forever and just talk about how, oh, this person did that thing and it re-traumatized me, and it just goes on and it's just terrible. So it's called EMDR. It is a wild experience because you kind of think, how would this possibly help what I'm doing? Not this, what I'm doing, but the actions that we do. So we talk just a little bit about how I'm feeling, and generally this is like a physical thing that he's asking me about. How am I feeling in the places where I'm generally kind of traumatized, or my neck and my stomach, things like that. So I tell him on a scale of 1 to 7 how I'm feeling, and then we start doing EMDR. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, which means this little light just goes back and forth on the screen. So I hold my head, so imagine if the light's going back and forth, I just do that. And I'm just watching the light go back and forth in complete silence. And then he asked me what came up. And sometimes it's like nothing. But he says, what are you feeling? So sometimes I feel like a tingling in my chest, and then he'll say, okay, let's go with that. And he'll ask me a couple of questions about how that feels, and then I'll do another round of the EMDR, which lasts like 90 seconds or something. And sometimes the wildest things come up, and I just start crying, and then we talk about that. And what is happening, apparently, is that my brain, how did he say it? The little couplings that have been made because of trauma. So say, this is just an example. Say something traumatic happened to me when I was a child in front of a blue porta shed, right? Little blue outbuilding. So then, that's not true for me. I'm just using an example. So remember, the porta shed's blue. So then maybe every time something goes awry in front of something blue or a porta shed or a blue porta shed, it's like coupling, right? That's blue porta sheds are scary. So that's basically the process, is that we talk through the traumatic events, not in depth, but just kind of give an idea of what happened. And then I do the EMDR. And the idea is that things are getting recoupled in my brain. So whereas I used to think, blue porta shed, I'm about to go into I'm about to be triggered. I'm about to have a panic attack. This EMDR, supposedly, seems like it's working, is reprogramming, recoupling my neural network. So it's taking away that trauma trigger and recoupling it with something innocuous, something that doesn't bother me. It's the most fascinating process. And I had a wonderful experience the first time we were doing it, because he asked me about, I have this thing, he calls it turtling, which is a good description. And oh my God, I've had pain in my, right here forever. Like really, since I was a little kid, I remember it. And when I feel threatened, I do that. A lot of us do. We turtle. And I do that a lot. And when I get kind of intense into something, I do that. He asked me to do this and put me a little bit in that space. And asked me then, what is that? What is going on? And I said, it's a shield. And he said, tell me about the shield. And I said, it's a big, round, heavy shield. I started crying. And so I carried it all my life. I'm about to start crying right now. And I said, you know, I feel like I have to have this to protect me because I feel so vulnerable in the world, and I've been hurt so bad, and I've been traumatized, and I'm autistic, child abuse, everything. So he said, okay, let's go with that. So he said, okay, you've got your shield. And then we did EMDR, and he said, what's in your mind? And I said, and this is what really happened in my mind. The shield shrunk down, and in its place, these little wings. It's the most amazing little visual I had, and I could kind of feel it in my body too. These wings started sprouting in place of the shield. It was such an incredible feeling. And I was smiling to myself. And when I came out of the little EMDR, he said, okay, so, and I was telling him about the wings. And I said, and they just keep unfolding and unfolding, and they just get bigger and bigger, and they're so beautiful. It was such a good session. And so I finished that session, and I picked up my phone, opened Instagram, and I saw this image by one of my favorite artists, Alexis Raccoon. I hope I'm saying your name right, Alexis. Raccoon, or Raccoon is R-A-K-U-N. And it's a photograph of her with some wings. I'm not sure if she drew them, but she grew them, is the point. The very first image that I saw when I opened my phone was her, and the caption was, I grew my own damn wings. I grew my own damn wings. How many of you feel like that? And it was the most incredible experience that I had. And I'm so grateful for that therapy, and for the experiences that led me into that therapy, and for the weirdness that is EMDR, and how whatever the hell it's doing, love it. I'm thankful for Alexis. Your work means so much to so many of us. So thank you very much. And if you haven't checked it out, I do really encourage you to check out her art, because it's really inspiring. Okay, and it's fun. Just like I'm fun, right? Hee hee. Okay, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.